Greetings and welcome to DevLook at The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, the third game in the series about Geralt the Witcher. It's based on books by Andrzej Sapkowski, and I'm personally a huge fan of both books and games, and I finished the first two games and played them several times because The Witcher is, famous for the way that the story usually branches, and now I'm on my way through The Witcher 3. So far I've played about 40 hours of the game and I feel like I barely scratched the surface, but let's just jump in and I'll show you how it goes. I will try not to show you any spoilers of the story or whatever, so I will keep the voice low if there's any spoilers, and just don't look at the subtitles in the loading screens because they tend to tell these bits of story here, but most of the stuff that you will see here was already announced in the trailers and stuff like this, so that should not spoil your experience. And I will be just doing some Witcher contracts, so they are completely not story related. Although you might say they are spoilers if you want to do the contract yourself. I mean, it's not, extremely spoilerish, but still. Okay, so let's wait until it loads a bit. The loading times are pretty small. Alright, there we go. We are loaded right now. So I left the Steam FPS counter running on the left corner, if you can see it there. The performance of this game is, it's relatively good. So I'm currently running it on my config with everything set to the ultra settings. I did disable the blur as I don't really like it, and the motion blur as well. But everything else is cranked up to the maximum, including the NVIDIA Hairworks, which makes the hair look significantly better than it usually would. And I guess the first thing that you would notice, the game is actually pretty damn beautiful. Look at the lightning is especially very, very awesome here. In normal, like sunrise and sunsets are pretty cool, but I think the best thing that I've ever seen was the storm coming. That was just amazing. So what is The Witcher about? Well, it's about you being Geralt the Witcher, this guy, and about hunting down monsters. This is what Witchers do. Well, so it happens that sometimes monsters are not really monsters, but humans, and you have to do something about them as well, either negotiate or kill them. And Witcher is all about these choice that matters. It's very important to pick your, basically, to make your decisions in quests not just based on some random number, but actually to think far, far away, because doing something in the early game can change everything in the end game completely. It's not like, playing Dragon Age and then you gather all that army and then nothing happens in the end. No. This game, even if you just spare some person in the beginning, it can change everything. This is like literally, I'm not joking here. So like whole villages can die because of your choices. But let's start with actually looking at the world map. I just want to show you the size of the maps. So this game is kind of open world, not completely. So it's split in several maps, and this is like one of the biggest ones. And it's basically Novigrad plus Velen plus some other cities here, and this is all the map. So it's from border to border, and all those question marks are the places that I haven't yet explored. I haven't even reached here. As you can see, there's a lot of empty space here, so I don't even know what is there. Those question marks are usually something that you discover by hearing the peasants talking about some things, or reading the books, or other ways by interacting with characters and things like this. So I know for a fact that there's something cool, but here I don't even know what's going on here. So there's some fortress. I'm not even sure what is that. That looks like a I don't know. There is a lot of stuff, and most of those things offer you quests. So whenever you go, you will have quests. There are some small random events, like, or not exactly random, but like, place of power when you can draw and gain a new skill point, or monster nest when you can clean it out and destroy it so that there will be less monsters in the area and stuff like this. But most of them actually offer quests, and pretty meaningful quests. Now, talking about quests, you have several types of quests. So you have main quest, obviously, which is quite there's a lot of variety in here, and there's a lot of quests that are branching all the way, and you have like several ways usually to solve even one task that appears in your main quest, like searching for a person. You can do it through several means and interacting with different characters in the city, and that's pretty crazy. You have secondary quests, which include stuff like racing, Gwent, which is the local card game, And as well the quests that are, straightforward, help the guy or whatever. So even Fist of Fury, so the fist fighting, it was as well in the previous parts, but here it's actually quite fun. So the combat system here is pretty solid, but we'll talk about that when we take on the contract. And lastly, so you have Witcher contracts, so it's not lastly, but you do. So those are actually, in my opinion, the most interesting part of the game, where you have to actually hunt the monsters. So we shall take the Elusive Thief, I guess. Level 13 should be manageable. I am level 15 now. Or let's make it interesting. Let's pick the level 16 one. That should be much more interesting. And I have treasure hunts. This is something that you usually discover by buying different maps or finding them in the world. So like treasure maps, and then you have to go and do something. And then I have a list of my completed quests. As you can see, there is a whole bunch of them there. And you have failed quests. So this is something that I said, there will be choices when you can do it in several ways. And if you pick one way, the other might be closed. So you have to be very careful about that. Alright, so we picked a quest. I wanted to have a look where exactly is it. You do have a fast travel system here. So we're gonna use it right now because I want to walk too long and bore you to death. The way it works is that you have this travel post, whatever they called. I always forget that. So you can use them and fast travel from one to another. You can as well fast travel while you're on a boat, but this is a different story. You can swim in this game and you can dive, and there's actually a lot of treasures hidden underwater, so it's usually a good idea to swim. And fast traveling is nice to save your time, but you lose out a lot of stuff. So aside from fast travel, you have access to a horse, let's call it. And there it is. It just randomly appears, and it's probably the worst part of the game, actually. The horse works terrible. It tends to stop on every small bump it can find. It tends to, I don't know. I mean, it's not very good, and you cannot gallop all the time, and it's just very quirky. It turns when you don't want it to, then it just stops when you don't want it to, and runs away when you want it to, and it's just no. I mean, well, I will show you what I mean. There's you probably can search for YouTube for glitches, and there's a lot of glitches related to horse, like vertical galloping, and I don't know, horse traveling underwater and all that crazy stuff. But here we are. This is our quest giver who posted the contract on the monster, so let's talk to her.
Greetings, Witcher.
Hear about the White Lady.
As I hoped. I notice it's been hanging so long, sun's near bleached it blank.
Managed to decipher it somehow, but I need more information.
Ask away. Afraid to go out in the fields anyway for fear of ending up like Mikko and his band.
So all the dialogues, as you can hear, are voice acted, and I mean all of them, including the side quests and Witcher contracts and everything, and the voice acting is pretty good. I mean, it's a very large scale game and a very expensive one, so everything is pretty cool. So let's ask her what is the lady that haunts the fields.
So the White Lady haunts your fields?
True. Just past the hut near the old town. Folks say she's made a home there.
Okay, and now we ask who's the Mikko in his band, and...
Mikko and his band. Who are they?
4 lads, drunkards and good-for-nothings all. They drained a few pints and decided they'd all plough the White Lady. Maybe then she'd bugger off.
Romantics.
Seems the White Lady spurned their advances. They still lie in the field. Folk are afeard to bury them. So, will you save us from her?
So you before taking on the contract, you can actually negotiate your reward, which is generally a good idea.
Let's talk about my pay first.
And this is the way it works. So you can pick a bonus rate, which will annoy the quest giver to some extent. I mean, I just generally start with like 50%, maybe a bit more. And that was a bit too much. So let's sneak it down, and I get 30 maybe? No, still too much. So basically, you just have to find this sweet spot when the quest giver... Okay, she's a peasant, so apparently she doesn't have a lot of money. At least 10? Really? Not even 10? Okay, I mean, alright, 5?
Oh, so be it.
Okay, she can add 5 orange on top. Alright, then I'll help you, I guess.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. Using more effective means than brave Mikko.
Alright, so we took the contract. Now we come to the second part of the game, or the Witcher contracts actually, and to tell the truth, the most of the game as well. It's the investigation. So let's write. The cool part about horse is actually, I mean, it's not about the horse, I guess, about the idea is that you can, when you gallop, you can just hold the button of galloping and it will follow the road, or it should follow the road, but then again, it sometimes just, you know, goes into the, it can just ride into the hut and then stop. Doesn't work perfectly, but the idea is actually pretty cool. So we need to find the bodies using the Witcher senses, and the Witcher senses is something that you're going to be using a lot. So I'm playing with the gamepad, so it's left trigger, but I mean the game works pretty much fine with the keyboard as well, but I just prefer the gamepad because combat this way feels much more nicer, I guess. I think people spend a lot of time reconfiguring the keyboard layout to work properly for combat, because default one is apparently not very good. Okay, so you hold left trigger to use Witcher senses, and that allows you to see things that you would not see with a normal human eye, including stuff like blood, traces of monsters, and there we go. So there's the dead bodies, so we can actually examine them.
Whatever he saw just before he died gave him quite a scare.
So apparently those guys were scared, and there's some, what is this? It is booze, so they drink a lot, and then they were scared, and then they died.
Signs of burns. Noon Wraith did this.
So we have a wraith that we're dealing with, and you know, you just go around.
This is no vampire.
And learn bit by bit by like this information about the monster, because it's very important to know what the monster is and how to deal with it. One thing I would notice that I enabled this Witcher senses to show up on a mini-map on the top right, if you can see it there. It's disabled by default, but in my opinion this is a bit uncomfortable, because sometimes you can spend like 5 to 10 minutes just running around searching for one tiny thing that's hiding behind the bush. That is not very nice, and you know, that's not what I came to do in Witcher. I came to kill monsters and investigate things, and not search for a hidden object, and I not play a hidden object game. So enabling that gives you a bit of an edge and makes it a bit easier. So we have some tracks here.
Someone fled blindly.
So it looks like one guy actually survived, so we have to follow those tracks. Oh, what is this here? Okay, let's check this.
Blood, really old. The singeing, on the other hand, is fresh, unnatural. Medallion vibrates near it.
So someone died there, so we're gonna follow the track here and try to find that guy who ran away. Maybe he will give us some important information. Maybe he knows something. And this, we can gather some herbs on the way. Alright, well, what's going on here? So, we have some stuff. What is that? What is this thing?
Blood trail leads to the cellar.
Blood trail. Okay, so he was wounded. Alright, let's check it. So, I guess it's better to apply oils right now. So, one of the things with The Witcher is that unless you prepare very carefully for the encounter, you will probably get murdered. I'm playing on a hard difficulty. There's one even harder than this, but I found normal to be a bit too easy for me. But you know, it's the hard one is basically, unless you prepare very good and unless you have the right bombs and potions equipped and right oils applied, you will die terribly. And even if you have them, you will probably die terribly if you're not careful enough. So you have those oils that you can use to enhance your damage against specific types of monsters. So in this case, we're fighting the Wraith, which you can see here in the bestiary. I think they are inspectors. So we have the Noon Wraith. Here we go. That's she. And you can see that she's vulnerable to moon dusts, spectre oil, and the Irden sign. So we're gonna go into the inventory and we're gonna apply the spectre oil. There we go. Now our spectre oil is applied to our silver sword, and we can safely continue to look for whatever. Okay, the guy is already dead, obviously.
Ghouls tracked the body downstairs, but it wasn't their kill. Skin's unnaturally pale.
Perfect. So there's even ghouls around. Okay.
Signs
Anything
point to
going
a new
around?
wraith. She's avoiding me. Gotta find something that belonged to her. She'll have to show then.
Okay, so I have to now find something to actually summon this Noon Wraith, otherwise she'll just hide from me forever. And meanwhile, we can just loot the stuff around here. So the Witcher Vision or Witcher Senses actually as well highlight the lootable things. So we have some nice stuff here, like ore and crowns, which is cool. Let's see, is there anything else to steal here? I mean, loot is never a bad thing, right? Okay, there we go. Oh, some diagrams. SAPPER'S trousers, okay. Crafting is actually quite a significant part of this game. And we have bandits, okay. Right here. Ow, okay. You do have actually a mounted combat here, so you can in fact fight using your horse, or like while riding your horse. But we're not going to do that now. Ow! Okay, horses can fight back as well. And stun you pretty badly. Good thing that I have my Quen sign, which is a shield on. Oh, we have another guy here. We can actually try to do something interesting and burn him. There we go. And he's off the horse. Nice. So now we can actually fight him. Fighting works in a... I mean, he's a quite much lower level than me. But I can show you how the fighting works. So you have several moves that you can use in a fight. One of them, this one is the dodge. So I can actually dodge out of the way. It does not take any stamina, and I burn him again. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to put up a shield. So you can dodge, you can roll out of the way, which actually takes stamina, which you are used to cast signs. So we're not going to do that. And then you have your sword attacks. Let's not kill him. So fast attack and strong attack. And then you can cast signs. You have 5 of them, as same as in the previous games. If you're not familiar with them, there's Quen sign, which is your shield. There's Irden sign, which is a magic trap. Igni, that I used to set him on fire. Axi, that can... ow, okay, there's more of them. Let's stun him. So yeah, this is the Axi sign. It basically stuns. And then there's Art sign, which is a telekinetic blast. You can actually use it to get this guy off the horse. Nope, I missed it completely. I mean, let's kill that guy. There we go. Have some nice finisher. And let's wait for this guy to come in so I can lock in on them. That will lock in the camera. And he kind of managed to hit me anyway. Okay, let's use our Quen sign. So all the signs have 2 modes, active and passive. So this is active Quen shield, which actually restores your health if you are... Whoa, that was a wrong lock. It restores your health if you are if you're taking hits, basically. But it takes, again, stamina to use it. Okay. Can I... Nope. We can use a... So in addition to signs, you can use bombs and a crossbow, which is a new addition to the series. It was not here in the previous games. Whoa. And he's half dead, but not yet. Let's... I don't know. I wonder what will happen if I do Irden sign here. Come on. It's become really slow. There we go. So all of them dead now. I mean, those were really low level enemies, but as you've seen, they actually managed to take off half of my health. So if I would have been not so careful, I would probably be dead. Alright, where's our horse? I don't see it anywhere, so let's color it. Okay, let's go and investigate and continue our investigation, actually. If you played The Witcher 2, you know that the gear there was very limited, and you had this very, very important upgrades that you could acquire, and there was like very unique things, but not so many, or I mean very unique equipment, but not so much of it. You know, you could like acquire a couple of new swords, a couple of new armors, and so on. But this game actually has tons of this stuff, and you have a crafting system that actually is helpful. So we can have a look here. I better use mouse for inventory because this is the only place that does not work very well with the gamepad for obvious reasons. So I have, as you can see here, I have my steel sword with 3 runes installed, and there's this bug with the Chernobog runes that shows 0 attack power while actually buffing the damage. That was stated by developers, and they are still fixing it. I'm not sure why it takes so long to fix a simple UI bug, but whatever. So you usually have your steel sword for fighting with humans, you have your silver sword for fighting with monsters. They can have different buffs and different runes and different enchantments. And then you have your armor set. I currently wear the Griffin armor set, which is a specific Witcher set which buffs a lot the signed intensity, which is pretty cool. I have some boots, because I don't remember if I found actually the Griffin boots, but whatever. Then I have my crossbow, which is relatively crappy, and then I have my normal bolts, which are unlimited, but you can indeed place here the more powerful bolts, but they will expire. So, and here again the bombs, potions, and food. So food is, you know, it's everywhere, so it's really easy to eat it, but it restores a little health, and I I don't remember if you can actually use it in the combat, never tried that. Then in addition, you can equip a trophy, which you get from those contract monsters, which is more powerful enemies, and the trophies are a variety of bonuses, so I so far found 2. You get like 10 chance to dismember, or 5% bonus from humans and non-humans, meaning the non-monsters. And this one I think 5% bonus gold, yeah. So in addition, you have saddlebags and saddle that you can equip your horse with. So saddlebags increase your inventory weight, which you can see here. Inventory this time around works pretty well. I always was annoyed in Witcher 2 when you couldn't carry enough stuff because the inventory was just too small. This time it's not the case, so it's all limited by weight and all things are weighted more or less reasonable. So you can carry quite a lot of stuff with you. You have a saddle which increases the horse stamina, and the more stamina you have, the more you can gallop. And then you have horse blinders, which lessen the horse fear level, which is something that basically allows you to fight more on the horse. So with the items, you have your normal equipment stuff. You have some things like the repair kits that you have to repair your gear, which degrades with time. So you can see I have 99% durability. I recently repaired stuff actually. Then we have some usable stuff, like including oils, potions, and bombs. As you can see, it says actually 2 out of 2, 3 out of 3. The way that the potions work in this game is that you craft the potion once with alchemy, and then you can actually you don't need to do it anymore. So you have this 4 out of 4, and when I spend all 4 of them, I will need to meditate and spend some alcohol. As you can see, I have quite a lot of it actually, because it drops literally out of everything. I can spend the alcohol to refill this, and I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's very convenient. And in addition to potions, you have those decoctions, which have very high toxicity, so that's like 80 out of 100, which is basically, if I drink that, I will be able to drink 1 swallow, so 1 healing potion. And that's it. But they provide very powerful bonuses. So like this one, for example, allows me to run, sprint, and jump without using stamina out of combat. Then this one increases my vitality every time I kill a foe before I fast travel or meditate. This is, well, you can get some crazy ass health bar with this, I assume. But, it's for 1800 seconds, so it's relatively long, but still you have to use them carefully, so they're not overpowered, or at least I wouldn't say so. And then you have crafting reagents, so there's a bunch of them, including mutagens. You have quest items, they are nicely here in a separate tab. You have masks that you can actually wear. Let's put it here, you can see. So I'm still not sure why you would need that, but they are in the quest tab, so I guess they are needed for some quest later. And you have other crap, including different currencies that are actually can be exchanged in the bank for the only currency that is used here. So it's in general a good idea to collect them and then change later. And the other things like, the fist stack, pure silver, all of that can be disassembled at merchants into the crafting components, which is pretty cool. So alchemy works pretty much in the same way it did before. You have a lot of bombs, potions, decoctions, whatever. Let's see if we can craft something. We can actually craft fire decoction. So it's pretty simple. You don't need to meditate or whatever to craft anything. All you need to do is collect the required reagents. So what does this gives us? Each blow landed increases attack power until fights end or damage is taken. That is actually pretty crazy. Okay, let's craft it. So decoctions works in the same way that the potions, you just craft it one time, then you use it, and once you meditate, it will be refilled. Alright, so what else? We have crafting, so pretty much the same way. To craft, you actually need a blacksmith. Yeah, here you can see, so only blacksmiths can forge weapons and armorers can craft armor, so you actually need to collect reagents, get the recipe, and then go to blacksmith that has good enough level. So you can see here the craftsman requirement, armor journeyman. So if he's a beginner or amateur, you won't be able to craft this actually. Which works pretty well. I have a lot of different things here, and as you can see, come on, yeah, there we go. So as you can see, I have a lot of diagrams, and including trousers and runes and everything. And this time around, there's a lot of equipment that drops and a lot of very cool things to upgrade. So characters, don't want to do that. Tutorials is not interesting. So quest already looked at. So character, yeah, that's probably one of the most interesting parts about this Witcher 3 is the fact that you have this very interesting way to upgrade your character. Where's all my muted gens? What the hell is going on here? Okay, so you have why do I not have any mutagens left? That is a bit strange. Okay, whatever. So you have 4 basically discipline or talent trees, I guess you can call them that. One is the combat, which straight up increases your combat abilities working. You know, I have this fast attack, which increases the fast attack damage, and then I have the arrow deflection. And the more you put in the branch, the cooler abilities you will be able to unlock, but unlocking them is not enough. You actually have to slot them. So you have this, whatever it is, 12 slots plus 4 slots for mutagens. And you essentially craft your build out of these skills, and only skills that are in slots will be applied. And then, so you have combat, you have science. This is what I'm mostly going into because I upgraded my Quen to have active shield, which helps a lot. I mean, I would even say it's a bit overpowered right now because you can essentially heal yourself back. Again, if you're not careful, you'll get your ass kicked in the end, but still. And then you have the alchemy branch, which increases the damages from oils, and you know, you have a chance of poisoning target and stuff like this, so it's pretty cool. And the last one is sort of generic one, so it has like only 1 talents per thing, and there's no locked ones, and stuff like, you know, increases your vitality regeneration, crossbow bolts deal more damage, and they are pretty straightforward upgrades, but they can be very interesting. You know, like increasing toxicity by 30 points can give you an edge because you can drink a decoction and then drink more potions than normally. And then you have these mutagens that for some reason does not show up for me anymore. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think that's a bug because it obviously says I have 14 of them. So you can see I slotted 2 of them. There's a blue one and green one. Those slots are locked for now. So the idea is that if you slot the mutagen that is the same color as your talents, like these blue ones and the blue mutagen that increases sign intensity, the mutagen will be buffed. So since it does plus 10 on its own, and then plus 10 for each of this, I get plus 40 sign intensity. That is a lot. And the same here, so you know, it links only with red ones, okay, but still I get, instead of 5 attack power, I get actually 15, which is way more. And that is a pretty cool idea. And you can you can change the builds on pretty much whenever you want. I think I've everything slotted, so yeah, I mean, I don't have this slotted, but you can just drag and drop it. So you can change them on the fly. I don't think it's allowed in combat, but before combat, basically in the step of preparation, you can do that. So it's a very cool way to customize the way that your character works. You know, is it a more sort of potion user, is it more sign user, or is it more just a straight up melee character? Okay, let's talk to Helma and try to find out about our wraith.
Greetings, Witcher.
Seems your white lady's a noon wraith.
That means... Gods, poor Lucy.
Lucy. She was gonna marry, right?
Yeah. Her parents swore her to a smith from the city. Well-to-do, sure, but older and more brittle than elven ruins. Lucy ran from the altar out into the fields, where she slashed her veins. Used the silver dagger she'd gotten for the betrothal. Wait, let me show you.
So we actually have a really sad story behind all of this stuff, and as it usually happens in Witcher, nothing here is, you know,
Lucy's
black and
parents
white.
couldn't bear to sell it. Bury it even. They left it in my care.
I want to send her away, but I've got to bring her close, lure her first. I need an object that belonged to her. Dagger would be perfect.
Take it, but kill Lucy. Promise me. She shouldn't suffer no more.
Okay, so now we actually have an item to summon her, and well, let's just push people around. Where's my horse now? I don't see it. Ah, there we go. Horse spawning is actually another one of the not so worked on parts of the game, because a few times, especially inside of the city, horse for me spawned inside of the tavern and then walked out of the door. That was pretty hilarious, actually. Alright, there we go. So let's apply let's see if our decoction is actually on. So we have a spectral oil, perfect. Then we have a swallow potion ready here, and then let's take the bombs that would actually damage. So as you can see here, they do just fire damage. That's because I was fighting some humans. But fire damage won't really do much to raise, so what we want is silver damage. So we want that. And then we actually might want to have a stun potion, which is, I think, Samom. Yep, exactly. So, alright, so we're ready with that, and then let's take another potion, which would be, I guess, Thunderbolt, to increase our attack speed, or attack powers. Alright, now we're more or less ready. So we can use this. Once I use that, let's actually select the Quen sign. No, wait, I want a Quen sign first. So once I use this, I will probably see a small cutscene, and then the Wraith will appear, and then we'll have an intense fight, and I will try not to die horribly. Alright, let's do this. Yep, there she comes. Okay, she actually appeared in midday. I mean, sometime. Oh, I guess she's Noonwrath, right? So she will appear in midday. So let's cast a Quen, and then let's pick a Yrden, because you cannot really damage a Wraith without slowing her with an Yrden sign, so you have to know that. Nope. And she can do a lot of damage if you are not careful. So we want to get her inside of this Yrden trap, otherwise she will be in this ethereal form and I won't be able to damage her. Ow! Alright, now she will split. So this is normal Wrath stuff. I'm not sure what this actually does, but you have to kill all of them. I think it damages you a bit. There we go. That's another trap. Come on, come here. Nope. I mean, I can maybe let her hit me one time just to show you how much damage she could do. Yep. So if you're not careful, you will be dead very quickly. Come on, come here. And if combat looks simple to you, then, well, I mean, I had 40 hours of practice here. But if you are not simple, come on, it will kill you very fast. I mean, you know, a couple of wrong moves and whoa, yep, she likes, I mean, those Wraiths love to sort of teleport and get you from behind. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Nope. Okay, she split again. You know, let's do something fun and throw a bomb at her. So Grape Shot should work. And not necessarily was to do this for this one, but let's throw it in her when she's in a circle. There we go. Nice. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! That did not quite go as I expected. So as you can see, it's quite easy to actually mess up here. Come on, come here. Yep, there we go. I mean, she's almost dead, but if I'm not careful, I can be dead as well, because I just need a couple of hits and then we're pretty much done. There we go. Okay, nice and easy. Now we can loot her and see. So we actually got a Noonwrath mutagen, some essences, and a nice sword and a trophy. Okay, and we get a. We actually have to have a chance to look at the thunderstorm here. It's not that heavy yet, but you know, you can see how the trees are actually bending to the wind and the sky is getting darker, and I think it's really awesome. I mean, the graphics here are just incredible. Okay, you know what? I want to eat something because I don't want to spend my potions and we're not in a hurry, so I'm gonna just put a ham sandwich here and we're gonna use it to replenish our health. So, I mean, as I said, the food is everywhere and it's a very cheap way to restore your health, especially out of combat. So in combat that's not very useful, but out of combat it works really fine. Alright. Horse, what are you doing? Okay, let's jump off and let's talk to Helma to get our reward.
Greetings, Witcher.
Problem solved. You can go back to your fields.
Thank you. Your coin. And may fortune smile upon you.
And we've finished the contract, actually, so that is, you know, that's essentially The Witcher in a nutshell. Aside from this pretty cool combat, which is, I mean, I guess it's a bit simpler than it was in The Witcher 2. It's still very, very cool. I would say it's actually much better than in Witcher 2. I mean, it's simpler, yes, but it's much more action-oriented, much more ferocious, and you have to be way more careful with what you do. Because in Witcher 2, you know, you have to plan it a lot. Yes, you have to strike very carefully, but here you have to move a lot more, and it's, you know, it adds more dynamic to it, so it's pretty cool. Man, I love those cloud shadows on the ground. It just looks fantastic. Okay. Again, you know, if you're an RPG fan, you definitely should pick this game up. It's pretty fantastic. One more thing I have to say is that I actually picked it up both on Steam and on GOG.com, and GOG preloading way is way better. So while Steam was unpacking this thing for 2 hours or something, GOG just started it and that's it after the game unlock. So that's pretty sweet actually. If you want to pick it up on GOG because they have a better client actually now. Hopefully it will be even better with time. Alright, so to sum it up, pretty cool combat, fantastic quests, absolutely fantastic. I mean, the meaningful choices and the consequences of those choices that are actually visible to you, and you know, you're not just picking something as again in Dragon Age Inquisition or Mass Effect 3 where you pick the stuff and then in the end you just see the different colored endings, which is a bit sad. Here you can actually see, you know, that something goes terribly wrong because the whole village dies or something else terrible happens. I mean, just try it for yourself, it's pretty awesome. If you are into RPGs with this pretty cool quest and nice voice acting and a pretty cool combat, this game has a lot to offer. I played 40 hours of it and I'm intending to play and finish each and every quest and then probably play it once more because I want to see the alternative options that I had in quests and, you know, the other quests that I screwed up because I chose the brute approach when I could have talked my way out of it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Thank you for watching and as always, see you during next updates. Bye!